Good morning and welcome back to BIFA Link TV, your daily dose of industry information. Today I'm joined once again by Ian Matheson to find out what's been going on last week and what's coming up this week in the news. So Ian, thank you so much for joining me. How are you?
I'm good again, thank you, Brooke, and I hope you are too.
I am indeed. So what have you got for us this time?
Well, the big news last week, of course, was that the talks between the International Longshoremen's Association and the United States Maritime Alliance broke down over the key issue of automation. And that brings the threat of a renewed strike at US East Coast and Gulf Coast ports closer. At the time of filming this episode, no date had been set to resume the talks.
Yeah.
And with less than 2 months to go to reach an agreement, everyone must be concerned about the possibility of another dock strike affecting international ocean freight operations at ports from Boston to Houston.
I can't imagine that was a pleasant conversation to be a part of, and I'm sure that a lot of people are saying a lot of stuff online and are also worried as well, aren't they?
Indeed, yeah. And of course we're well into the peak season for freight movement, and last week saw the first of three major busy periods in which retail demand is expected to spike over the festive period, as well as shipments associated with them. Singles Day is an unofficial holiday which began in China and is marked by many retailers with online shopping discounts, and that fell on the 11th of November this year. Next up, of course, is Black Friday at the end of the month and Cyber Monday in early December, followed by the usual pre-Christmas shopping season. All will result in spikes in demand for services provided by BIFA members, hopefully. And I hope you've got me something nice this year, not another pair of socks.
Well, I mean, I've already bought all my Christmas presents this year, so maybe try again next year, Ian.
Thanks a lot, Brooke. Never mind. On another matter, investment in infrastructure has been a key theme in discussions surrounding the recent autumn budget. And we saw some news about investment in the UK's logistics infrastructure recently, where at London Gateway, the first ship, the MSC Senna, arrived at the site's newly opened fourth berth, which is unique in the sense that it is apparently all electric.
Oh, wow.
And of course this follows DP World's announcement that it will be investing £1 billion in London Gateway in an effort to make it Britain's largest container port within the next 5 years.
And I've actually been lucky enough to go around the port with our young forwarder network. And I mean, it's an incredible operation as it is. So it'll be really good to see what it looks like after this investment as well.
Well, not so encouraging was the government's recent announcement to postpone a decision on the Lower Thames crossing until May next year. And I know that's led to a number of industry leaders urging the government to give the green light to the construction now for a project that's got national significance.
I mean, anyone that's been on the crossing during rush hour, I'm sure they'll agree with that statement as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Members involved in the movement of outer gauge and abnormal loads will be pleased to read that the RHA's abnormal loads group took industry concerns over inconsistent enforcement to police leaders in a major milestone for the industry. The ALG, the Abnormal Loads Group, claims that the policing of abnormal loads has become increasingly inconsistent in recent years, creating significant challenges for the haulage industry as well as for the forwarders that are involved in Project Cargo.
And I know that the industry are working closely with the police to get some updated guidance out about this, which hopefully, if all goes to plan, should be out by the end of the year.
That's what I understand, yeah. There's an interesting article in December's issue of BIFA Link about the current state of container shipping and the ongoing issues with the Suez Canal passages. According to unconfirmed media reports, pressure from customers has apparently caused CMA CGM to U-turn on plans to operate its Indomex service, which is a service that goes from the Indian subcontinent to the US East Coast, back to the Cape of Good Hope. They had announced it was going to be going through the Suez Canal, so that's interesting news.
Yeah. Once again, another development on this long-standing saga.
Yeah, and finally, whilst it didn't capture much media attention, there was a meeting in Edinburgh last week of the European Committee of the Regions UK Contact Group, there's a mouthful, that discussed how to further develop the relationship between subnational authorities in the EU and the UK, given the political momentum to reset the UK-EU relationship. between the recently elected UK government and the incoming European Commission. And that's all to do, well, not just to do, but a lot of it's to do with the upcoming review of the implementation of the Trade and Cooperation Agreement. And the outcome of those discussions will have implications for BIFA members that are active in the trade between the UK and the EU.
That's very interesting, Ian. Thank you so much. And thank you once again for providing this roundup of the news. If you do have any questions or there are any media inquiries about anything that we've spoken about today, Ian's contact details will be in the description below, along with all of the links to the reports that are mentioned today. Thank you so much for watching today's edition of BIFA Link TV, your daily dose of industry information.